Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This here is Cinema Classics.
It is.
One of my favorite things
are,
getting excited for summer movies, fall movies.
Yeah.
So
you think we ought to do fall?
Yeah. And we got to break it down because there are too many films.
I think we already did a job on summer last week.
I'm sure, yes, right.
Anyway, surely, if it hasn't already hit the theaters,
it has. And stop calling me Shirley. I couldn't resist.
It. Stephen King.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is.
For those who have the video portion, you can see this ugly clown.
Yeah, my little one is obsessed with this movie. Franco is worried about this one. He keeps seeing the trailer on YouTube, and he assures me he's not going to see the movie. Yeah, this movie was made. There's another version of it. Was made for TV, starring Tim Curry many years ago.
All right.
It has a fan following, a loyal fan following. This is going to be updated, and everything is going to be ratcheted up, John. The creep factor, the violence, all of it.
Well, if it looks anything like this depiction of this ugly clown.
Yeah, I'm not even good. I don't even want to look at it.
Well, sweeter than that, maybe Reese Witherspoon in Home Again.
Okay.
Remember how she did Sweet Home Alabama?
Sweet Home Alabama.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's in this one,
it's a sequel to a movie no one remembers. Is that what we're
yes.
talking about?
Only this time she's a single mom in L.A.
Okay.
But Darren Aronofsky. Yeah. All right. Darren Aronofsky as Mother.
Yeah. So Darren Aronofsky is this guy that he's the auteur everybody loves.
Yeah.
He did Black Swan.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah.
And now he's got this. I don't know what Mother is about. I know it stars Jennifer Lawrence.
It does, yeah.
And it is a horror film, a psychological horror film.
Yeah. Javier Bardem is also in it.
Okay.
So it looks promising.
Yeah. Well, with that name attached to it and that cast, it could be really good. There's some other indie movie directors who have some good stuff coming out. Have you heard about this Last Flag Flying?
Yes.
Richard Linklater?
Yes.
This is a sequel.
Wait, I think that's October.
Is that November?
November?
Okay, sorry. Okay, let me skip that one.
Yeah.
How about Wonderstruck?
I don't know that one either. I've got Woodshock, but not Wonderstruck. I don't have.
Okay, Wonderstruck. Hold on. I think it's worth talking about. It's Todd Haynes.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, it's October. Okay.
Good.
So, yeah, another indie director that not as many people know as they do Aronofsky is Todd Haynes.
Okay.
And he's got a film coming out called Wonderstruck with a really great cast. Julianne Moore, Michelle Williams.
Okay.
So that's another one to keep your eyes out for.
Yeah, we'll do. More art film mainstream is Victoria and Abdul, which should be coming out pretty soon.
Oh, what's that?
And this is Judi Dench. Who else? Playing Queen Victoria.
Oh, okay.
And her relationship with Ali Fazal. And but anyway, Abdul, which is historically accurate, I guess, an Indian.
She had a romance with
Well,
an Indian guy?
I don't think so. Really big gap in their ages, but I think she had befriended him, much to the consternation of the very uptight Brits.
Okay.
And Judi Dench, of course, eats the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So there's no scenery, absolutely nothing, at least if I can tell from the trailer.
Well, it sounds like something that will play at the Drexel for weeks.
And I think you're right. I think that's where I saw the trailer. All right. Anyway, Channing Tatum hasn't done as well with Logan Lucky as he might do with Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Wait,
And
Channing Tatum is in that?
Yeah, he's headlining it, and you got a whole bunch of other very strange. Well, one strange one strange character is played by Elton John. What is Elton John doing in a movie?
I know. Is he still alive even?
And then Halle Berry and Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, Jeff Bridges. So it's a pretty good cast.
Yeah, Kingsman. This was the surprise hit. This is the sequel to that surprise hit movie. It's a spoof, CGI riddled spoof of spy films with a teenager as the lead spy, right?
All right. How about some more CGI? I don't doubt in Stronger.
Stronger?
Right, with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's playing the real story of Jeff Bauman, who lost his legs during the Boston Marathon bombing.
Oh,
How
that doesn't sound like a CGI-driven.
Well, how about his legs?
Oh, except to erase his legs. Yeah, that actually it looks like a very powerful film. I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
And Jake Gyllenhaal, man, that guy is just quietly amassing a terrific body of work, right? He just never sort of fails to give a great performance in something at least interesting.
And he chooses well,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Then there's Flatliners. Oh, I've heard of that before.
Oh man, is this a remake of the awful?
I think so. Let me read you.
Julia Roberts and
This is with Ellen Page, and it's a team of med students who decide it'll be fun to stop their hearts and experiment with them.
This is exactly that movie from the 80s.
We needed to see that again.
What was it? It was Julia Roberts and Kiefer Sutherland and boy.
Well, I think the romance of the year is going to be In the Mountain Between Us.
Okay.
Idris Elba and Kate Winslet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, how about that?
What's that about?
Oh, they survive a plane crash.
And
then they kind of get...
And they eat each other?
I think so.
Is that what always happens? That's why I don't fly. It's like, I always I'm on a plane, I just start looking around to see who I'm going to eat if we crash in the mountains.
Well, all right.
One
of the most notable titles.
Yes.
In September, October. Now remember, we're just doing
I know
September,
what we're
October.
talking about. I'm keeping it to September, October.
All right. The most notable would have to be Blade Runner 2040.
That's right. So this is directed by the guy that directed Prisoners.
Yeah.
And Enemy. A very interesting director. His name is, I can't even pronounce it.
Villeneuve, I think.
Denis Villeneuve, right?
Yes.
He's kind of like a French guy.
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
So he is,
right.
He has shown sufficient chops in his previous work to have earned the honor to direct the sequel to Ridley Scott's.
Yes.
I would hesitate to say masterpiece, because I don't know if you've seen that movie recently. There's so many different versions of that movie out there, and I'm not sure what happened to it. There's the version with a different ending. There's the version where Harrison Ford is narrating it, which, by the way, the narration is awful. I've just recently watched it, and so this is exciting. Ryan Gosling. You don't often see Ryan Gosling in a movie like of this. He has carefully stayed away from big budget spectacle action movies his entire career. So here he is. Yeah. Assuming the mantle from Harrison Ford.
I can only assume that Blade Runner has such an iconic place in our culture because I think it was one of the first really dark yet smart science fiction, and then Harrison Ford adding to that. I just...
Yeah, you're right. It was mainly influential at the time for two reasons. One, because of the production design. That sort of bleak, urban, set in the near future.
Yeah.
So there was this recognizability to the land, the urban cityscape, but it was always raining. It was always dark.
Well, really, one of those first post-apocalyptic kind of films. It wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't post-apocalyptic.
But
it was just.
It allowed us to move into that area
Mm-hmm.
of grim, gritty, violent world.
Right, and it was also one of the first commercially successful movies to really deal with human beings living alongside of androids that look like them.
Yep.
One of the first sort of contemplative action movies about that, our technological future.
Yeah. Well, there's an odd one called The Snowman.
Yeah.
And then one of the stars is Val Kilmer. Good Lord.
Oh, is he? Is Val Kilmer in that? I thought that was Michael Fassbender.
Well, I'm just saying
Okay.
one of the stars. Fassbender, I believe, is the detective, because there's a snowman with a scarf of a woman who was murdered.
Yeah, well, it's a serial killer who's going around, right, killing people with ice so that the weapon melts or something. I don't know. All I know is I saw the trailer for this movie, and I was just floored by the way they just kept going to the cliche well, back and forth, like, without any sort of self-awareness whatsoever. The
Yep.
smart serial killer who is, like, taunting the police. Are we done with that?
Well, it's either one of these two guys. I think it's either Val Kilmer, who could easily be a
Oh
serial
yeah,
killer,
it's got to have the twist, right? Where Michael Fassbender is the killer and he's investigating
the other
himself.
One, no, I'll bet it's J.K. Simmons.
Either one. I don't. You know what? I would hope it's an actual snowman. Then it would be interesting.
All right, my final offer for the end of October is
Yeah.
The Square.
This is about you?
This is about
Very
our
nice.
show. No, it's Elizabeth Moss, an art exhibition at the Stockholm Palace and the publicity surrounding it. It won, however, the Palme d'Or at Cannes.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Interesting. There was a movie that played at Cannes and I thought received some accolades with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh.
Have you heard about
No.
that? No? Okay, well, then. Wow, that's a conversation stopper.
Well, so then we've just ripped through September and October.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine? And we just scratched the surface.
And I am
Did they make too many movies?
I'm
Are there too many?
I'm sure that our audience can't wait for us to take on November and December.
Yeah, wow.